I read up about breakfast and lunch and how they want to help startups. I had the dream to start an Ethiopian cuisine establishment here in San Antonio. With the information that I had gotten already through the different classes I attended, I felt the confidence to just go for it, man.
I'm Chef Ed Villarreal, the host of Homegrown Chef, a new culinary series featuring local chefs, local food, local libations, and as many edible inspirations as we can find here in San Antonio's ever-evolving culinary world. So here we are back inside of the Whitney Museum's kitchen, where we are going to be recreating Chef Jeff White's brunch dish. So what we're doing here on Homegrown Chef is we're working with talented local chefs here in San Antonio, and we're taking inspirations from what they do and creating our own dish. Earlier, we were working with Chef Jeff, and what he created was this beautiful brunch dish consisting of a duck egg that had been fried, and it sat right on top of a little bit of mushrooms topped with foie gras, and then it had some French toast next to it, and then he topped everything with a little bit of maple demi. We're gonna twist it up a little bit, and we're gonna add some things and take some things away. I think the two oddest things that we're gonna do, and the two strangest things, and some chefs will probably wanna kill me for this one, is we're gonna be making a foie gras vinaigrette. So I'm gonna be searing off the foie gras, incorporating a little bit of onions, and deglazing everything with a little bit of apple cider vinegar to create that wonderful vinaigrette. The other thing that we're gonna be doing that adds a little twist to the dish is we've already poached off the duck egg, which is what Jeff used. And what we're gonna be doing is we are going to be breading it and frying it. And only flash frying it, so we're not gonna get rid of this beautiful consistency. All we're gonna do is add a texture to the outside. So let's get started on that. Gotta create an egg wash. Without the egg wash, nothing's gonna stick. Now, breading this egg is a very simple procedure. It's kind of like when your mom made fried chicken at home. Flour, egg wash, flour. Except instead of the double dip in the flour, we use the breadcrumbs to create the texture. Let's get everything in the right order. And we'll get this done first, and then we're gonna let it rest for just a second to make sure everything binds before we fry it. And we'll be frying this thing at the last minute. So after this, we're gonna move right into the gnocchi and the foie gras. So you get your flour, you dredge it, coat it, because the bread and the egg need something to stick to. The egg will stick to the flour, the bread will stick to the egg. Now this is something that I don't or haven't seen anybody do. But I wanted to do it, so I'm doing it. You know, I've had poached eggs so many times, and they are wonderful. I think poached eggs are fantastic, but I think they're missing texture. So I sat there and I tried to figure out exactly how am I gonna add texture to this egg. So there we have the breaded duck egg that we sourced here locally as well. They have a little extra richness to them. The yolk's a little louder, you know, extra protein, you know. Now, here we have our gnocchi. This is house-made gnocchi, fresh. I hate bought gnocchi. They're like little rubber footballs. They'll never, ever work right. So I like to make my own. So we'll get our gnocchi going right here. We also have this wonderful piece of foie gras. And like I said, chefs are gonna wanna kill me because I'm gonna sear it, keep the fat, keep the chunks and pieces, and then we're gonna make a vinaigrette out of it. Again, another one where I don't see very many chefs or anybody doing this, as a matter of fact, because they're gonna call it sacrilege, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So there's that wonderful sound that I enjoy hearing so much, that hard heat hitting that piece of protein. So we start creating that sear, we start creating those little dark shards and colors inside of it. Now, Chef Jeff and I have been working together for years. And I mean years, like 13, right? So recently I broke off and I'm doing my own thing and whatnot, but over the years I have seen Jeff use foie gras in very many dishes. You know, it's a beautiful protein. It holds great, great flavor. It increases flavor to other dishes. And we've done, Lord, we've done so many things with foie gras, but this is still the first time I've ever made a foie gras vinaigrette. And what we're gonna wanna do is while that's cooking, we're gonna steal some of the fat. We gotta steal some of the fat. The fat's what's important for our vinaigrette. You can see that. Oh yeah, you can see that right there. That's a beautiful thing. Now you gotta get in on this. This right here is beauty in its own work. This foie gras, even I think it's sacrilege, but I'm doing it anyway. You know, I should be sitting this on top of something with some sweet and some spicy and whatnot, but I gotta do something different with it. That's the whole point of what we're doing. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna throw some foie gras fat on our gnocchi. Why? Because you just should. You have it, might as well use it. See, and now you can start seeing it happen. And we look at our gnocchi, you know, we're starting to get all these nice little brown crispy pieces, and we're gonna hope for that to happen all the way around for a complete texture. And these are my favorite things in the world to work with. My grandmother used them, my mother used them, I saw my old uncles use them with cast iron. If I could cook with anything all day, it definitely would be cast iron. So once we look at this here, we can see the foie gras is ready. She's already falling apart. She's already nice and tender. You can see as I push on it, how it's kept its nice little fatty gelatinous to it, but it's nice and crispy and seared on the outside. So we're gonna move this over. Oh God, look at that. So we're gonna move it over, and we're gonna drop a few onions in here, just to add the flavor to the vinaigrette, and a little bit of salt. And then while that's happening, we're gonna have to add just a little bit of our apple cider vinegar. And this is what we're gonna use to deglaze the pan. And this is what'll finish the vinaigrette. But you can use whatever type of vinegar or lemon juice, lime juice, whatever you wanna use. So that vinaigrette's done. We got these beautiful oyster mushrooms that we sourced here at Pearl's Farmer's Market. So let's drop these down. Let's give them a little rough chop. You can see these here, they're gorgeous, you know, homegrown here in Texas. So we're gonna drop these in and we're gonna add this background to the flavor of our dish. So we're using the oyster mushrooms because, you know, they're a really nice flavor. They have their own background, you know. And we just wanna get all that in there, really make all that happen. And we're gonna steal a little bit more of the foie gras fat and vinegar just to add a little bit of acidity to this part right here too. Now we have our asparagus here, you can see. And to it, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a potato peeler and we're gonna shave it and we're gonna create these beautiful little ribbons. And these ribbons are gonna act kind of like our salad. So this is all we're doing to it. And we're gonna pour that vinaigrette right on top. And we're gonna allow the heat and the acid from the vinaigrette to break this down. And what we'll end up with are these beautiful little ribbons, see? So we're gonna turn this one off and let it rest a little bit. And what we're gonna get ready to do now is drop our egg. Now again, this is a duck egg that's been breaded because no one else breads them, and I want to. So let's just get this bad boy in the fryer. And there it goes. So here we have it. It's been about 30 seconds and this bad boy is ready to go. So you can see there the yolk already wants to come out, which is a fantastic thing. That means this is not overcooked and that bad boy is just gonna ooze out that extra protein and make this dish extra rich. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna take our foie gras vinaigrette and we're gonna start breaking up them little pieces of foie. So now we got the wonderful egg, we have the shaved asparagus, we have this great vinaigrette here created from foie gras and apple cider vinegar with just a touch of onion inside of it. Now, a lot of other people would add all kinds of other things to their vinaigrettes, but I kind of want this to be straightforward. And when we go back in here and we just try it a little bit, that foie gras is just screaming at you still out front, which will go great against the potato. We have our gnocchi here, so when we crack this bad boy open, you can see that she's nice and cooked up. She's not gooey, not gummy. So that means the potato's cooked all the way through, the egg's cooked all the way through, it's ready to go. So now what we have here is the secret ingredient. Now when I thought about this dish, It reminded me of like huevos rotos. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's traditional Spanish dish. And usually it's, we could say fries at the bottom, which is the gnocchi. And then it's usually topped with jamon serrano, which is just what we have right here, a wonderful cured Spanish ham. And then it's topped with eggs, our wonderful crispy poached duck egg, and angulas, which is baby eel. Well, that just didn't work out. I couldn't find the baby eels. They were probably like illegal, so they couldn't make it in the country. So what we did is we shaved up the asparagus instead. So we're getting all these wonderful little crispy pieces of gnocchi and mushroom into the bowl right now. And if we come over here and we take a look, our vinaigrette's already nice and warm. The fat's already nice and runny one more time, so we're gonna go ahead and drop it right on top of the asparagus. Now, the foie gras warm fat and the warm vinegar are gonna start to break down this asparagus. So it's gonna even take on a more pasta-like texture. And we're gonna take our jamon serrano, and we're just gonna lay it in this pan, and we're just gonna give it a little residual heat. Whatever heat's coming off of here will be fine in order just to warm this up just a little bit. And you don't wanna cook it, you just wanna warm it. If we add any extra heat to it, it's just gonna tighten up and get hard, and that's not what we're looking for. So now we're gonna take the jamon and we're gonna lay it right here on top, creating this little piggy nest for the duck egg. As the season goes on, you'll see that my dishes are very central and I work my way up. And I can always remember one of my old chefs. His thing was, think taller, you know, and I say it like that because he's the English chef, Bruce Houghton. Fantastic, wonderful, beautiful man, and I can only hope to have him on the show one day. So we've created this beautiful little nest of jamon serrano where we're gonna rest the asparagus right on top. And you can see she's already been dressed. So she's already got all her vinaigrette all over her. She's gonna sit right here in the middle. Now you can see the build happening. You have all the mushrooms and the gnocchi on the bottom. You have that beautiful set of jamon serrano sitting right on top of it. And then we have this fantastic asparagus ribbons that have been dressed with a little bit of foie gras vinaigrette. So we're gonna take our fantastic duck egg, our crispy poached duck egg that you won't see anywhere else, and we're gonna set that right on top. Let me get a little bit more warm vinaigrette going, and then we're gonna dress it one more time over the top, and then we'll be ready to taste. So we can see right here, we're gonna drop a little inlay all the way around our plate. And we're gonna top everything off with just a little bit of the wonderful chunkiness. Now, throughout the season, you'll see me have a lot of, I guess you could say, Latin influence into the food. Growing up in the kitchen over the last 20 years, I've gotten to meet gentlemen and ladies from Honduras, from Nicaragua, from Monterrey, from just all over the place, you know, just a whole variety of Latinos, a whole variety of Spanish. And I've seen their food and I've seen what they cook, and I just think it's such a wonderful cuisine. And I think my thing is I like to bring all that Latin flair and Latin style into the food that I do. Like, for example, the jamon serrano here. It may be the smallest of the ingredients that we're including here, but it's a beautiful cured ham from Spain. You know, I still want to include that Latin influence into everything that I do. So here we have it. This is our inspired dish from Chef Jeff White's French toast and duck eggs to Chef Ed Villarreal's gnocchi and foie gras vinaigrette with asparagus. Oh, and crispy fried poached egg. So let's give this a shot. So now we get to my favorite part, where we get to eat. I almost don't want to eat it because I'm just really happy with the way it came out. So what we're gonna do is we would want that to happen right there. So you see all that beautiful yolk pouring out? Oh God, yes. And it's not chicken yolk, it's duck yolk. Get in there, cut off a piece, get that vinaigrette in there. I'm a messy eater. Yes. I'll take two. Thank you so very much for coming out and seeing us right here on Homegrown Chef. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this. And los vemos.